when practicing deeply the prajna, paramita proceeds as all by saying empty and safe from all suffering and distress. Sariputra from the study, different from emptiness. Emptiness does not different from form, but was is form is emptiness, that was is emptiness. We form the same issue of feeling, perception, impulses, and consciousness. Sariputra, Dharma, with emptiness, they do not appear, so disappear, are not changed, appear, do not increase or decrease. Therefore, in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no perception, no impulses, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no rim of eyes, and so forth until no rim of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extension of it, and so forth until no age and death, and also no extension of them, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attend. The Bodhisattva depends on prajna, paramita, and his mind has no interest of any interest, no fear has set far above every perverted view. He dwells in nirvana in the three worlds of Buddha, depends on prajna, paramita, and nothing. Anuttara Sangha Sambodhi, they follow the prajna. Paramita is the great transcendent. Good evening, my dear Shanga. Today is December the 5th, 2017. Welcome for tonight meditation and Dharma talks. How's everyone doing tonight? Good? The last month of the year. So we have 2 more weeks of class, and after that we have 1 month off because I have to go to Myanmar and Sri Lanka for about 1 month. So on the 20th of December, those who would like to take the precept, we will have that day. So you can sign up. I think I will get our sheet of paper. You can sign up. December the 20th. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So you want to take the 5 precept and sign up. So tonight we talk about the Diamond Sutra. Anybody knows here? There's like 3 people knows here, right? So far we study about the Diamond Sutra. We are on chapter 19. So basically, Diamond Sutra talk about the self, the egoless, help you to get rid of all your attachment. Or in general, we have 3 things to attachment. The first thing is the world materials. The second is our body. The third is our thinking. So the Diamond Sutra helps you to get rid of all those attachments. In general, we think that this world is real. We think this body is real. And then we think our thinking mind is real, right? But the Diamond Sutra go deeper to say that all these materials outside the body and our thinking minds actually is not real. So the term "not real" in Buddhism is not. Don't misunderstand that something that's not real is not there. Not real here means they always impermanent. It's changing. The world is changing. Nothing is stable. Stay the same, right? So the concept of not real and real is like the concept of transformation, right? So the Diamond Sutra helps you to get rid of all your attachment. For example, this body, generally we think this is our body, right? When we come out in this world, we see this is our body, right? But when you go deeply, actually this body contains the 4 elements: earth, water, and fire. So if you say this body is yours, then you should control your body. But actually we cannot control our body, right? It needs water, and we have to take in water. It needs food, we have to take in food, right? So if you control your body, it means that you are able to manipulate. When this body needs food, you don't have to food. And then what? You're hungry, you die, right? So actually this body contains the 4 elements. Whenever it needs something, you have to bring it in. And whenever this body have to take it out, you have to bring it out, right? So this body is like, we just borrow temporarily the 4 elements to form this body, right? Earth, water, fire, and air. So this 4 elements form this body, and we borrow this body as our house, right? So our minds, what we call our concept of mind, we able to use this body, right? And then we say that when you live in this body, then you say this is my body. It's like when you bought a house, and then you say, oh, this is my house, right? But when you bought only how many years? 20 or 30 years, you have to move out, right? You don't live in the house forever, right? So this body is the same thing. People borrow like 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years, right? Maximum probably 100 years. Hardly anybody 100 years, right? So this body we just borrow is like a house, a car, a vehicle, right? So everybody have to let go of this body. So the diamond helps you to get rid of this attachment of this body, right? And then attachment of mind, our thinking mind. In general, we think that our thinking is always right? If somebody says wrong, then we get upset, we get angry, we get mad, right? We also believe that our thinking is always correct. So that's why two ideas come together, they always have an argument, always have a fight, right? So that's why the three things we attach in this world around us, phenomena, in our body, in our thinking. So the Diamond Sutra help you to get rid of all this attachment, right? So why do we have to get rid of all this attachment? Because we want to find true happiness, true peace. So if you want to find true happiness, true peace, you have to see this body is unreal, the phenomena is unreal, and your thinking mind is unreal. Then true happiness will become, right? So just like, for example, how do we know there's a fake diamond and true diamond? Anybody know? Generally, you go to the market and you don't know diamond, real diamond and fake diamond look like the same, right? Anybody have any idea to distinguish between real diamond and fake diamond?
Does the diamond scratch glass?
Okay. Anybody see fake diamond yet? Right.
Doesn't that have their inclusion?
Yeah, they must have something, right? So when you go buy diamond, how do you know this is real diamond? Do you just trust the company or trust the people or the paper or something? What if they give you a fake diamond and this looks like the real diamond? You see that? So the Diamond Sutra helps you to see what is real, unreal first, right? In general, we have the true nature, awakened nature, a stillness mind. First, we want to see our stillness mind, understanding our awakened mind. First, we have to understand the form mind, the thinking mind first. You see that? So that's why we have to dissect this body, this thinking, this idea out, and then we will find the true nature of awakening, right? So we have to first see what is unreal first, and then the real thing will appear by itself. So it's the same thing. If people want to find the true diamond, they have to understand what diamond is fake first. Right? This is some kind of concept of machine that they can look in to see it's real diamond or fake diamond, right? So you see that? So they have to use some kind of microscope or something like that to see it is real diamond, it's fake diamond. So first we have to want to see what actually who we are, right? We have to use our microscope, like our wisdom. We have to use our wisdom to see this body, this phenomena, and this thinking mind. So we see all these things is unreal. Then the real awakened nature, what we call awakened minds, will appear us. You see that? So that's just the diamond talk about how we get rid of all these materials, what we call phenomena, and then we will reveal the true nature will reveal by itself. So we are on chapter 19. Alora, can you read?
Sure. If I can pronounce all the words. Wait.
That's fine.
The Dharma realm penetrated and transformed. What do you think, Subhuti?
Yeah, Subhuti.
Okay. If someone were to fill the 3,000
Chilo.
What is that?
It's like the world's.
Okay. With precious treasures as an act of generosity, would that person bring great happiness to the virtuous act? Yes, very much, world-honored one. Subhuti, if such happiness were conceived as an entity separate from everything else, the Tathagata would not have said it to be great. But because it is ungraspable, the Tathagata has said that the virtuous act of that person brought about great happiness.
Okay. So this chapter talk about the Buddha first. He asked a question: what do you think, Subhuti? So usually he asked his student, what do you think? If someone who filled with 3,000 chiliosim, I mean 3,000 great worlds. So in this world we live is a small world, but 3 great worlds contain the sun, the moon, all the planets around us. This 7 planets consider the world, Chiliocosm. So 3,000 of great worlds with precise treasure. The treasure here like diamond, gold, money, gem, all those stuff, all the great jewelry that when we give in, imagine that we give in 3,000 worlds. Would that person have a great happiness and virtue? That's what his question asks. What do you think, man? And then the Buddha said, yes, very much world on one. So in general, we say that if somebody donates $1 billion, right? What do we think? He or she have a lot of merit, right? A lot of virtue, right? But imagine this person, she or he give 3,000 great world with treasure. Do you know how much merit in that virtue is? That's uncountable, right? And then the Buddha asked, is that great merit and virtue? And the Buddha said, yes, whoever give the treasure with 3,000 great worlds, there's a lot of merit and virtue. And then his final answer said, Buddha, if such happiness would conceive and internally separate from everything else, the Tathagata would not have said to be great, but because it's unquestionable. The Tathagata has said that the virtuous act of the person brought about great happiness. So in general, we say that we did donation materials a lot, consider great merit and virtue. But he said that though merit and virtue is this material, it's not greater than to see your awakened mind. Just like earlier, I told you this 1,000 bag of diamond, fake diamond, compared to one piece of real diamond. What do you prefer, fake diamond or one piece of real diamond? You prefer the one piece of great diamond, right? Here he says the same thing. Doesn't matter how much treasure you act of generosity giving with 3,000 great worlds. Refer to fake diamond. But a person who go back to his or her original mind, that's a small merit and virtue than the person who go out and giving. You see that? Why is that? Because over here is fake. The more you do it, material, generosity, all unreal, right? Because all this merit you use, you give them, you have a lot of merit, but someday you use all of it, and it's all gone. But our waking nature, our true nature, you use it, but it will never disappear. It will never gone. That's why he compared the person who gives in generosity a lot of treasure to 3 great worlds, compared to a person who had achieved enlightenment. So a person who achieved one enlightenment is happier than a person who go out and give material, building up treasure, right? Why is that? Because the more they give, they still have suffering. Their happiness is only giving, but they still have suffering. They still have reincarnation, right? But that person who enlightenment, even though he or she did not give anything, but their happiness is infinity. You see that? So the compare of happiness of materials and the compare of happiness unmaterial, non-material. The material you give, you receive, you just happy couple of days, right? And then it's gone. For example, on Christmas Day, your wish is have a new Mercedes, and your wife bought you a new Mercedes, and how many days happy you go get? Probably at least a month, right? And after that, you are suffering. Back to original. But when you have a piece of meditation with calm, peace, stillness mind in that moment, that happiness is infinity. You see that? So material sometimes bring you suffering. You have another house, another car. This also bring you suffering, stress. I have to pay the bill. Right? You see that? So that's why he compares materials happiness to unmaterial happiness. So the unmaterial happiness is the happiness of stillness mind, right? The stillness of through meditation mind, rather than chasing outside. So you see a lot of billionaire people in the United States, right? How many people? There's a lot of billionaire people, right? Do they still have suffering? Yeah, they still have suffering. They have greed, anger, and illusion, right? But a person who have no money, but they always live with his or her true mind. Which one you prefer? You see that? This person have a lot of stress, anxiety, fear, even though they have a lot of material, but this person, they have nothing. But they always happy. They always have joy. They can go anywhere they like. They are free. You see that? But this one have what? The other side have a lot of billion dollar, and they have a lot of tangle, a lot of rope typing, right? So here the Buddha said that the Dharma realm penetrate and transform, means that we can able to transform all these realms, right? And we can able to see that the virtues of a person who enlightenment is more happiness than a person who giving even how many treasure to 3,000 great worlds. So this also say that the formless merit is come from enlightened person, we call formless, and the form merit from unenlightened person, right? So a formless merit is infinity. Something is formless is infinity. Something is form is what? Is limit, right? So imagine that person giving materials, but doesn't matter how much they give, they always limit, right? The merit is limit, like a house, a car, a mountain, right? But a person with formless merit is like space. The merit is like space, right? So the merit is infinity. Just like a person who lives with 3 robes a day, one meal a day, cup of rope, a cup of shoe, and they sleep anywhere they like, they're so happy. Then a person who have a lot of vehicle, beautiful car, beautiful bed, all those things. And at night, they cannot sleep. So what do you prefer? A person with a lot of material at night cannot sleep, or a person with less material at night, they can able to sleep. And a lot of stress, right? So he compare, the more material you get, the more suffer you will get, right? The less the material you have, the less the suffer you will get. That's very simple law. You can test it out. Right? Go try to buy more material. And then what? You'll have a lot of stress, right? Some people have like 1,000 of pair of shoes, 1,000 pair of blouse, skirt, and they still have what? They still have stress energy, right? Because they don't know what to choose to wear. But if you have only 7, then 7 days, just change 7 times. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about rubber. You don't have to think about what to choose. You have less thinking, right? So the more material you get, the more thinking you are. The less the material, you have less thinking, right? Just like if you have 100 of house, then what? You will have to worry how I have to live this month. What house I have to take care. But if you have just one single house, then what? You just worry about one single house, right? It's the same thing. The more material, just like one of the Zen masters say, the more material you get, the less the enlightenment you will get. The more material you get, the less the enlightenment. But the less the material you get, the more enlightenment. Right? Because the more material you got, you have a lot of attachment. The less the material, you have less attachment. But this is 2 ways. If a person have a lot of material but they don't have attachment, then they are not suffering. But the person who have little material but they in their mind they want attachment, then what? They're still suffering anyway. You see, right? So everything has to be two-way. If you have a lot of material, that's fine, but don't attachment, then you live peaceful. But if you have less material, sometimes you are suffering, right? I don't have car, I don't have nothing, then I cannot drive around, right? I have no clothes to wear, so imagine in winter time, it's too cold, right? Imagine your house don't have a heater, right? So that's why everything has to be given enlightenment rather than have materials. So this chapter 19 talk about, he's compared materials, merit of form and merit of formless, right? So the first thing that we do is generosity. Okay, chapter 20. Michael, can you read the 20? Michael?
Apart from form and apart from marks. Subhuti, what do you think? Can the Tathagata be perceived by his perfectly formed body? No, world honored one. What the Tathagata calls a perfectly formed body is not in fact a perfectly formed body. That is why it is called a perfectly formed body. What do you think, Subhuti? Can the Tathagata be perceived by his perfectly formed physiognomy? No, world honored one. It is impossible to perceive the Tathagata by any perfectly formed physiognomy. Why? Because what the Tathagata calls perfectly formed physiognomy is not in fact perfectly formed physiognomy. That is why it is called perfectly formed physiognomy.
Okay, this kind of way, huh? Back and forth. It's very interesting what he says something and then he say. So in general, talk about his body. In general, the Buddha, when he enlightenment, he have a perfect body. He have the three beautiful attributes and 80, what we call 80 minor characteristics, character, right? When you become a Buddha, you have a perfect body. Just like you will see the statue up there, right? Everybody become a Buddha, they have this body, this beautiful body. But when he asks Subhuti, is this my real body, right? And Subhuti say, no, that is actually not your real body. And then the Buddha say, that's correct. This actually is not my real body. So he compared the body of form and the body of formless. So in general, the Buddha, he talk about the body of formless is the Dharma body, what we call awakened body. That is what we call the true body. But this body is just temporary. So the Buddha himself, Sakyamuni Buddha, he lived only 80 years. And his body, even how much beautiful, how much handsome, or how much good, is cremate, right? Become ash. You see that? So he said, do not attach this body, this four-element body, because this four-element body is actually a not perfect body. Even though it's perfect body, but actually it's not perfect body. That's why he called it perfect body. This means that if you have this beautiful body, if you're not attached to this beautiful body, then you are truly beautiful. But if you have a beautiful body and you are attached to your beautiful body, you are not beautiful. For example, if you don't have a beautiful body, but you're not attached to this body, then you are beautiful. You see that? But if you don't have this beautiful body, but you are attached to this, not this beautiful body, then you are not beauty. You see that? So everything depends on our mind. Doesn't matter what kind of body, lean body, big body, small body, short body, tall body. If you don't attach to it, then you are perfectly beautiful. Because everything as it is, you see as it is, you enjoy what you have right now. That is the greatest happiness. But if you have this body and you don't really enjoy it, you say, oh, my body ugly, I have to go to what we call cosmetic, fix cosmetic, right? Fix the face, fix the nose, fix everything then, right? So when we born out, we have this beautiful body. And through time, we try to fix it, and then at the end, we look like nobody. You see that? So the Buddha here, he talk about, leave your true body as it is. Let it be. Then you are just as beautiful. Right? So in generally, when we see this body, we always attach to something. Right? Because society today, they always look at the body. Right? You see movie star, rock star, people, they always consider these bodies, they always attach to this body. So the more you attachment this body, you are not beautiful. But you are not attached to this body, you enjoy what you have, then that is the true nature. So the true nature here means you respect your body and use your body correctly. Right? But if you don't use your body correctly, then you are not a perfect body. So here he go back and forth about this form body. Because this form body doesn't matter how much you try to do, sooner or later what? Barely 6 foot down. Have to be what? Cremate like a jaw. Everybody's the same, right? Barely 6 foot down and then cremate like a jaw. Or you just lie, you pass away 3 or 4 days. Doesn't matter how beautiful you are. You stop breathing and lie there 3 days, nobody will love you anymore. Right? It's like a story about this beautiful concubine. When she living, she's so beautiful. The prince come and try to get her. Right? And then when she living, people try to what we call auction money. How much she can price, right? People can offer 1,000 of gold, right? But when she died, the Buddha says she died and then lie there. Anybody want to auction anymore? Anybody want to pay $1,000 of this dead body? No, right? You see that? So when we breathing, we living, they pay a lot of money. But when we lying down dead, blood coming out, no one offer anything. You see that? So the offering when we are, because our image is see this body is beautiful, and then when this body start breathing, then it's gone. So he talk about that we should not touch this body, right? So what if you have less attachment, then you are perfect body, right? Perfect enlightenment. But he talk about Tathagata able to see the perfect body is mean the awakened body instead of this form body. So in general, the Buddha have 3 bodies, right? I think last time we studied about 3 bodies. The Buddha have the Dhammakaya body. Dhammakaya body is what we call formless body. And the second we call Sambhogaya body. It means the body of transformation. And the third is called Nirmakaya body. What we call the body of transformation. Is Sambhogaya is the body of the appearance. And the Nirmanakaya is the body of transformation. Just like Sakyamuni Buddha, when he had this 80 years Buddha, and then he passed away, right? So everyone we only have this 2 body, but the Buddha have 3 body. We have Dhammakaya Buddha. Dhammakaya Buddha is what we call a Buddha nature, awakened mind, awakened body. And then we have this body, this is what we call Nirmakaya body. This body is 4 elements, right? So the Buddha have 2 bodies, 3 bodies. We have only 2 bodies. So when you become Buddha, you have 3 bodies. So the Dhammakaya, everyone have it, what we call awakened nature body. And Sambhogaya is the body of Bautan means he have practiced a lot of thousands of merit and virtue. That's why he have this body. So this body only a Bodhisattva, enlightenment person able to see it. For a naked eyes, we cannot see it, but through the wisdom. So this body, that's what he talk about. He compare of this 4 element body, and he compare of the formless body is Dharmakaya body, what we call a fountain, the awakened body. So he talked about that everyone have this awakened body. They should go back to this awakened body instead of live with this four element body. We always compare and contrast with this four element because everybody the same, right? Blood the same, water the same, air the same, right? So when we look deeply, everybody look at the same. Because there's some tall, some short, some thin, but we are the same. But the Dharmakaya, we are look different, but the Dharmakaya is the same. The awakened nature is the same. So that's why he talked about we have to go back to this awakened body instead of attach this form body. So it doesn't matter how much you try to fix this form body, sooner or later we'll get old, sickness, and what? Disease. Right? Doesn't matter how much pill you drink, how much makeup you fix, sooner it will wrinkle, sooner our hair will fall down, right? Our teeth will fall out, our skin will wrinkle, right? So here he talks about don't attach this form body, but to go back to your awakened body. That awakened body is infinity, that will never change, that will never impermanent. But this body is the follow the law of impermanent. So that is the chapter 20, talk about not attach this body. Doesn't matter how beautiful your body is, but don't attach it. Attachment. Okay, we will stop right here. Anybody have any comment, question? Chapter 19 and 20 is very short, right? Yeah, so everybody understand the concept? Beautiful? Beautiful means not attached to your body, that's too beautiful. But if you have this beautiful body and your attachment, then you're actually not beautiful. That's what he talked about. Just like one of the Vietnamese movie stars. In the 60s, she's very beautiful. It's like she's the most beautiful in the country. She's very famous. And when she gets older, her nose, she get a lot of cosmetic. And then now she's the ugliest person in Vietnam. You can see fix too much. You see that? So that's why you have to be natural. Once she's born now, when she's a child, she's very beautiful. And through time, she's just fix. And now she's the ugliest person in Vietnam. Before, she's the greatest, the beautiful now. That's a funny story. So let it be, let your bodies be. That's the true nature. That's why in Vietnam we call trời sinh ra, let it be. And when the guy born out, you like that, just let it be like that. That's the true nature of beauty. And you try to fix it, then you you do something. But the main thing is we have to fix our mind, not this body, right? Fix our greed, angry, and illusion. That's the beauty of inside. Okay. Anybody comment, question? That's why monks and nuns, we don't wear makeup. We let the beauty of nature. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question. I guess, how do you let go of that attachment?
How do you let go of attachment? Like what kind of attachment you have?
Let's say with your body or with the material.
For example, the Buddha, there's many methods, there's 84,000 methods. For example, if you got attachment in your body, that's what the Buddha said, you have to contemplate this body impurity. This body is impermanent. This body sooner or later is like blood, water, air, fire. You contemplate that, and you have no attachment. So like a lot of people attach their body, so we usually send them to what we call in Vietnam they have a hospital. A lot of people have no leg, no arm, no other stuff. You go to those and you have less attachment in your body. You see that? Like in Vietnam, they have this. I don't know. You have United States. They have what we call Dai Cui. Dai Cui is like leper. Yeah, leper people. They born out without any leg or arm, or they have like. You go see them, and then you see your body. Then you have less attachment to your body. This is yes.
So I think he's asking what kinds of perhaps, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but practice that you can do to release the attachment.
There we go. That's what we practice. Contemplate on impurity, impermanent. If you contemplate on impermanent, then you have less. That's the practice of impermanent. Right? Our body will change. Today we are young, and then we get old and old. This is the practice of impermanent.
So you're saying is realization that no matter what you have,
It's
it's
sooner or later will change.
So
It's will disappear.
because you have that realization, you're able to let go of that attachment.
You let go of your attachment easily. Yeah. So that's why we practice of impermanent. Right? Material today I have it, and tomorrow will gone. Everybody the same thing. You see that? So the practice of impermanence is very important. Whatever you have today is will impermanent. We will change. Like you have thousands of dollars in your hand, and then this money will go somebody else in the later on, a couple of months. You cannot hang on this money all the time, right? If you hang on this money, you cannot no food to eat, no clothes to wear. So contemplate on impermanent. The impermanent of life, the impermanent of material, the impermanent of this body. Then you have less attachment. Okay, you back there?
Yeah, but of course you do want to keep your body healthy. You don't
Yes,
want to
yes. Contemplation here is not to destroy your body. You see as it is, reality. You just see from your wisdom. Not just like people misunderstand, no, this body is unreal, I'm going to kill, chop it out. It's not like that. Right? You see as it is, reality. And you have to protect this body for living. Of course you have to use this body, your vehicle, but not attached to it. And like these two kind of people use, people just use it and they respect, and some people use it and they abuse. Abuse means your attachment, right? But they respect this body, they just use it. They try to be healthy, use it as possible, right? So enlightenment people, they just use this body respectful. But enlightenment people, they just abuse this body. They attach their body. Right? Yes,
do you think sickness could be the same thing? Like, could you use sickness to...
Yeah, sickness is a way to help you to get rid of your attachment. Because our bodies have to be sick. During your sickness is the best way to practice non-attachment. Doesn't matter how much you attachment, this body will sick, disease. Right? If you're healthy, you are walking, you are running, you love this body. Imagine you are sickness, you are lying there, or you say, oh, I hate this body. You see, it's some kind of disease, cancer. Right? So here to get rid of our concept, not the material, but our thinking. We have to see our thinking correctly. You have to realize something is correctly. That is the true nature of it. You cannot just use imagination, but use the true wisdom to see reality. So once you understand the reality, then you just use this body happy, joyfully. That's good.
I was just going to comment to you that this is really helpful in death, because like when my mom passed away, it was, I think when people pass away, it's very hard to obviously deal with it, but when you have this more of a mindset of understanding this, death is a lot easier to accept. I don't know about my own mortality. I don't know if that would be easier if I came to that point, but I know accepting other people's death with this mindset is it's just easier to understand and kind of get through that process.
Okay, that's good. Anybody have any other comment? Anything you share? Go ahead.
Question on that input. This mindset, meaning this mindset that consciousness continues beyond physical death. Is that what you were referring to?
I think just the more of the acceptance of impermanence when you're faced with, because I think everyone, it's hard for people to, when someone dies, to think of them as not being attached to someone, because when someone dies, we're attached to them, and so there comes all of the feelings and all that kind of things. And so when you understand of the impermanence of that relationship or that body or whatever the entity is, it's just easier to let go and understand the, I don't know, maybe I'm not answering your question, but
I think you are. You're talking about not attachment.
yeah, definitely.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I just have a question about emotional attachment. From what I'm hearing, you're working things out through your mindset, realizing that hey, this is not real in the sense where it's gonna go away eventually. So when you're dealing with that emotional attachment at that moment in time, let's say like dealing with ending of a relationship or ending say a family member's death and whatnot, and you still have that emotional attachment, how do you work through that?
Just like come back earlier, we have to see that emotion is impermanent.
Okay.
It's not stay with you forever. Doesn't matter how much you feel. Just like let me tell you a funny story. In Vietnam, usually when a lot of people when they die, they always crying. They say, "Oh, mom, you die. I should go with you. I want to go with you." And then when they awaken, okay, you want to go here? Kill yourself. And they're afraid. So generally, when we just tricked by our thinking, our image. When somebody say we should do all this or do all that, and then when we awaken, no, I'm not. She died. I don't want to die with her. You see that? Yes.
That's interesting because I had the same question that was just asked, but in a different way. I'm going to ask it anyway, the way I had it prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good practice to observe a painful emotion to weaken the identification with it and to dissolve it?
I think it depends on each person. Depend on each person. If that emotion too strong, you cannot handle it. You have to use some kind of method, right? It's like emotion of you love your daughter a lot, and if she's not home or she's not with you, you all have some kind of panic, right? If you can't have that person, you have to use some kind of method. It's conflict, right? So it depends on each person, each situation, how you deal with it, and how you use it, how to respect to use it. So everybody here the same, right? We have some kind of body love and pass away, and that's why especially for monks, we go every funeral every week. We see a lot of family members, a lot of suffering, so we have to get some teaching, lecture, tell them actually dying is not gone. They just transform to another form, right? Your dad is always with you right there, right? But we always teach the living being respect when they are living in. Don't wait until they die and then you cry a lot of respect. When they live in, you don't visit her, or respect her, don't cook her for food. Now she dying, you crying. See? So now we have to accept the reality. That's why we teach them that when they are living, you should respect and do it right away. Don't wait till she die and pass away. And then they cry a couple of weeks and then a couple of months they're happy, they enjoy, they forgot their mom. See that? So it depends on the situation, how each person deal. So we have to understand the concept of dying is not gone. It's like just transformed to another form. It's like water become ice, become rain, become other stuff. We are the same thing. We just transform into form. So when you use your wisdom, you see your mom, your dad is everywhere with you. They're always with you. They cannot go out this way. They transform to another form. You cannot see it. But when you're enlightenment, you're able to see it. That's why the Buddha himself, when he enlightenment, he see billion of years of his life in the past. He see the past life where his mom, his dad, his family, who's a member. So go back to your question. So what's your main question?
Well, that was my question.
No.
Is it good practice to observe a painful emotion to weaken the identification with it and to dissolve it? Yes, when it's not very strong, it's easy, but when it's very strong, it's easy to get entangled and identified and lost in it. Different techniques are required.
So that's why our practice is less thinking, because all emotion come from our thinking mind, right? So the meditation helps you to go less thinking. So when you are less thinking, then all those stuff will come, arise.
Sorry, me again. Another thing I've done in response to great feelings or again of death or breakups or kind of whatever that kind of thing is I always have a little mantra that I say to myself, and one of the things I think is it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And so that really helped me when my mom passed away, because you can put all those emotions to it, but the fact is it just is. She just died. And so when you think all these horrible things, or if you think something is too good, right? And so you get attached to that goodness, then you have those feelings of whatever they are. But if you just have the feeling of exactly what it is, and that's just what it is, instead of being good or bad, that helps it neutralize it, I guess, in a way that you can just kind of at that point let it go, even if it's losing your car in a wreck or a fire, those kinds of things. Like, it's not good, it's not bad, it just happened, it is, I need to move on. And so that's helped me get through a lot of those types of really hard feelings.
Okay.
I think non-attachment to the ego is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the main thing. You have no attachment of ego, then all the material side is not.
I want to share something since we're on this.
Mm-hmm.
I read about this before, and then somebody in the Sangha mentioned it, and it's actually the approach that I've been taking. My words are going to be really clumsy now, but I'm just going to speak freely. To facilitate or enable more true attachment, the way I feel attachment truly is, I watch myself from space. Out there, or up in the ceiling. It's like I'm leaving my body and I watch my body. It works really well with minor negative, painful emotions. I can watch my emotion, I can watch myself watching my emotion. I'm detached. And that detachment is so beautiful. But I have to be careful saying that, because the universe sends me something really bad to see how I can do it. But I watch myself from space. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it.
It's called metacognition.
Yeah,
Thinking about thinking.
Metacognitive. Yes. Aware that you're aware.
So remember, the whole thing is just temporary, right? Don't try to continue to do it, because all the emotion, we have to face it. We have to deal with it. Don't run away. So Zen is not to run away, to deal with all the emotion, all the pain, all the suffering, to see what it look like, and then you will get experience. You see that? Go ahead.
So how do you deal with a nightmare?
Nightmare depends on what kind of nightmare you get. Yeah. So if you are truly awakened, you see nightmare, you see actually it's not true of you. It is just a dream. It's like watching a movie. If you're truly awakened, you see, oh, this is just a movie. It's like when I watch a scary movie, it's like that. So when we deal with a nightmare, we see it's like when we watch a terrible movie. And we had to contemplate, oh, this is like image in our mind, imagination. We try to contemplate then. Like when we were a kid, we like watch scary movie. Even though it's scary, but we want to watch anyway. Right? It's like nightmare. So contemplate all nightmare is just illusion, impermanent. It's just like something that we cannot control it. It's like a movie, scary movie.
I had two types of nightmares. One, the last one I had, I was fortunate enough to be aware enough to know it was just in my head. It was just a dream, just a thought. But another nightmare I had before that, I woke up screaming. It was terrifying. It was so real. And then something.
When you see your nightmare, you see what image arise, or you just forgot. You just wake up and fear.
Oh, there were images. Yeah, there was something like this.
So that's why when we have some kind of nightmare, we have to contemplate daily. We have to be our strong stillness mind so strong. If our stillness mind is so strong, then when we have a dark nightmare, we're able to recognize, oh, I have a dream. What afraid? Because you forgot your stillness of your practice. That's why you chase it. You into your dream instead of you out. Like earlier, you out of space. So contemplate on that.
That's easy to do while I'm awake.
But so that's why we have to. When you are awake, you have to be strong. And when you sleep, you have that practice too. Just like people, just like monks, when we practice strong, when we sleep, we are practice too.
You talk about lucid dreaming, being aware while you're asleep?
Yeah. Because like when we have dream, we know that we have dreaming. We able to control our dream. You see our dream.
I want to be able to get there, yes. But here's my next question. In that nightmare, when I woke up screaming, the thought that followed was, I still have this body, it's still alive, I can escape it by waking up. What if I have a nightmare after I die? How do I can't wake up because my body's dead.
That's good, you transform another body.
Is that what the Tibetan Buddhists mean? Like the bardos is so terrifying, you just grab any other body that...
That's not good. If there's a dog, you grabbing a dog, you come in. So you have to be always alert, always awakened. So that's why I practice. That's why as Buddhists we don't sleep a lot. We sleep only like 5 hours. Because the more you sleep, you get dream, a lot of nightmare. Right? We always awaken, practice. But if you're tired, mostly we have a nightmare because we have overwork, oversleep, or we eat something. It's come from physical, psychological, right? So we have to see what our daily life is like. If you sleep too much, or you drink something, or you eat something, or you do something, right? Or you sleeping with the hand, the blood not flow well, you still have nightmare. So it's physical and psychological. You have to go back to your daily life. Or you watching a lot of scary movie, a lot of thinking, then give you nightmare too. Just like kids, it was a scary movie and at night they have a nightmare. So go back to your life, what you do daily. That's important. Because all our nightmares come from our daily life. And at that night you will dream. But sometimes our dreams come from the past life too. But this mainly is our daily life. So you have to be careful what you say you have a nightmare every day or every week or every month. Depend on, you have to fix it out yourself and see. This is your problem, you have to fix it. That's why as a Buddhist monk, we don't have a lot of dreams. We just sleep and wake up at 3. Usually 2 or 3 in the morning, a lot of people are at 3, usually at 3 or 4. That's a lot of dream. That's what we call deep sleep. But that time we wake up already. So we sleep at 10, we have at 3. So that's why 3 in the morning, the Buddha enlightenment. At the time, the Buddha enlightenment. I think sometimes at that time it's like the star, the moon is make your body a lot of deep dreams. So what time you have nightmare? Do you remember?
The second to the last one was, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3 in the morning, but the last one was just as I was waking up.
No. So next one, check back on how you practice. Did you practice or you're eating, you watch movie or something? Is this often or every
I had about 4 nightmares in a 12-month period.
12 months? That's not bad.
Did you meditate before you went to bed that day, if you remember?
I usually meditate at night, morning and night time.
Some nightmares come from our daily life. It also come from our past life. Because in the past life you did something very bad. Now that dream is always come back. That's why in Buddha temple we do repentance. Our past karma we vow to regret and we pray.
So what will I do after I die if I'm having a nightmare?
I don't know, ask yourself. I think that depends on where you are in your mind at that moment. If you are deep scary, you might be born at lower rate. If you fall away, you probably born at higher rate. So it depends on your karma, your whole life karma. It's also depends on this moment, that moment. Okay. Yes, we have a question. 12-year-old girl question.
So, is it true that if you live your life and then you die, if you were a good person, you will get born into a rich family? And if
Can you say your first question?
So, like, if you die, right? If you were a good person, do you get into a rich family?
It depends on if you're a good person. If you're a good person but you don't do a lot of merit, then you will not born in a rich family. It's a normal family but good family, not like in Bill Gates. Right? Family. So it depends on your karma, your merit. If you have created a merit and virtue and you're a good person, you probably born in a good family and rich billionaire family. But you're a good person but you don't donate, you don't do a lot of merit, you're born in a good family but lower class, medium class family. So it depends on merit and virtue. That's a good question. The 12-year-old girl, that's a question. Anybody else? You have another question, right? Just one question?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want to be born? A good family, rich family? Good family. Not rich family, right? Sometimes you're born in a rich family, but that family always get fighting. Yeah. I think if they're born in a good family, happy family is the best. Not born in a rich family, then sometimes brother, sister fight because of money. Then you get in trouble. So sometimes rich is not good. That's why we say middle class is good. Not too rich, not too poor. Never living. Okay, anybody else? Okay, I will see you. We will recite the end vows. Living being or innumerable, I vow to save them all. Affliction or endless, I vow to right them all. The Dharma door is accountable, I vow to study them all. The Buddha ways that accept, I vow to attain it. I vow to the merit and virtue from this will goes everywhere, and wish everyone, so that all of us and all living beings will realize the Buddha ways. And thank you. Enjoy your wonderful weeks. Make sure anybody take the precept, sign up. I think I need to get the paper. Stretch out before you stand up.